Give me a way to start it. Live anyway. All right. I always forget that we have an intro and I start talking. Anyways, hey there, everybody. How y'all doing? Welcome back to Double D's weekly Transformer live stream. This is episode 7. We should start naming our episodes.
Okay, I'm down.
This one would be Predaking is too small. So we're definitely going to talk about Predaking. But anyways, Mr. Deemer, how are you doing, man? How was your week? How are you doing? All that.
Man, I think overall doing.
I know you.
Go ahead. Oh.
You there?
Did you freeze on me?
Hello?
Yep, I see you. What's up, Cynical? I see you, DB. You there?
Godly. No, I'm still there. Yeah, I didn't freeze up. No, we're good.
Okay. All right. Yeah, no, I am doing all right. I had this month's been an awkward, weird month with, personal stuff. And I alluded to that in my last video with the review I did with the Dr. Wu sets. And my daughter's been in the hospital in and out, unfortunately. But, we had some good positive news there. She is on the mend, hopefully, so that, brightened my spirits. In addition, it was my birthday on the 27th, so a couple of days ago. My really good buddy and my brother took me out afterwards. I had a nice family dinner. We had a nice Brazilian steakhouse dinner. That was fun. And then we went out and I showed you a couple, snippets from the party that was hosted that night. So we had a lot of fun. That was a nice change to forget the world for a little bit and, just shake it out a little bit. So that's been my week, man. How about you?
Well, first things first is I just want to say that I was on a show Tuesday and everything went smoothly. I don't know what it is with this connection. It is terrible. So I don't know what I've gotten my internet upgraded. Like I said, I was on a show Tuesday and it went smooth. Nothing lagged. Nothing was, caused any hiccups or anything. Everything was good. I just don't know. Maybe it's just Deemer. I don't know. Maybe they don't. Maybe somebody don't want us to do a show. I don't know. But for some reason, when I'm on here, like when I do if I do live by myself, I'm good. When I go on other people's, I'm good. I don't know what it is. I do not really know what it is. But yeah, my week is fine. Just same old, just work and then, do some reviews and then work some more. And then that was it. So that's been my week, really.
Not a bad week. I mean, sometimes no news is good news, and some of the same, the norm is better than bad things happening. So I always take what I get, especially if, nothing's changed. I always take that as a blessing in disguise anyway. So I think that's not too bad, not too shabby.
That's true. That's true.
I like how your cabinet is filling out, man.
Yeah. So what'd you get this week, man?
So other than work, I posted that review for the Dr. Wu Insecticons and the Dots and Nissan brothers. That was a good one. Love those guys. It's just been, like I said, in and out of the hospital, work, family, birthday. It's been a mixed bag, but a good bag overall. So weather's been beautiful, so that's always uplifting. And yeah, so that's me as far as that goes.
Okay, I'm going to try to see if I can turn my camera on, but I got a couple things this week. Finally, I went like you did. I got the deluxe Insecticons and the Dawson brothers from Dr. Wu. I put a review for out that, and I went to Walmart trying to find Wheelie, and I got let's see, I didn't get Wheelie, but I got Outback.
Mm-hmm.
I think they were him, and I got Wheelie on the way. And then I got this guy around PAX. Yeah, $28 for this. Not good at all. The box almost is just trash. It's bad. And I got this guy in. This is the TFCon exclusive from LA. This is Trigger Man. This is from Fantabi and Chosen Prime. Actually, this past week. So definitely, if you haven't watched them, go watch them. And that was it. That's all I got this week. I got a couple things coming in this week. I got the Toy Dojo Talk exclusive from 3.0 MDLX Prime. So coming in, should be a couple days. I got the comic book version from 3.0 Megatron Arm. I got that coming in. That probably won't be here till next week. I think it's not a lot of stuff shipping to me right now, so I'm going to have to do some older stuff to put up some reviews. So, yeah.
We like the old stuff too, man. So I will show you what I got this week as far as my drops. I think we got some of the same stuff there. And so I'll start off with Motu. This was, I don't know, for Motu fans, you guys remember Laser Power He-Man? It used to be an exclusive in Italy only back in the late 80s. So he was pretty much a myth and a rumor here in the States for a long time. And so only if you were like in Italy exclusively or somewhere in Europe, it was easy to access. So I'm super happy that that Mattel made that special come out for him. I am excited about that.
Nice.
And this came in, my friend. I know this is your obsession here, man, with Autobot Wheelie. So he's in.
I can't wait.
Yep.
I'm excited.
I did get my Outback in as well. They came together actually, so that was kind of fun. But I kind of laughed when they came together, and I was like, Deluxe is gonna hate me for getting Wheelie first, but what can I do?
No.
Okay,
so, hate nobody.
I know. Yolo Park sent these the 2 exclusive Chase figures from their AMK line from that I think Wave 2. So that Rodimus, I think it was.
Shattered Glass Rodimus, I think.
Shattered Glass Rodimus, and the other Chase figure here. So I'll probably open up these for like a kind of like a chill late night.
Blue Streak?
Blue Streak, I think.
Was it Blue Streak?
I think so.
Okay.
So there's that. And so we got MFT Galvatron here. That was sent to me as well. So be a nice little figure to have.
Mm-hmm.
And so this was a birthday gift from my daughter and wife. Oscar the Grouch was always one of my favorite characters from Sesame Street. And so yeah, there's a little personal story about Oscar the Grouch between me and my wife. I'm not sure she'd explicitly let me tell you guys the story. So maybe one day I'll tell you the story between me and her about Oscar the Grouch. It's pretty funny. And this was another birthday gift from my daughter. This is a collab between Magic the Gathering and Funko Pop. So this is really cool. This is a lot heavier than it looks, by the way. I was surprised when I picked this up just how heavy this figure is. So I never knew they had like a crossover or anything, but this is for any Magic fans out there. This is the box for that there too. So that's exciting. I finally got this in after so much delay and emails of, oh, we're sorry, your shipment has been delayed. So frustrating wait, but I am genuinely excited about this one. I loved your review on this one, Deluxe, so I am excited to get my hands on him finally and get some playtime with him.
Very nice.
So I don't know if you guys know about a company called Tokay Toys, but they reached out to me and they sent me a couple of their watches to review for them. And so there
Oh,
are
very
two
nice.
watches to the review will be hopefully coming out. I'll do it this week. And so I think they sent me an Optimus Prime and Bumblebee watch. So I will show you guys.
Congratulations, man.
Yeah. So this guy's been somebody that was on my list for a long time, the Fans Toys recorder. And so I finally
That's a
found
good
him
one.
so I finally found him and picked him up for a very reasonable price there. So I'm very excited for this one too. And I know that some of our guests here also were talking about this guy previously, the Star Toys Blitzwing. And he has been talked about as perhaps being one of the best Blitzwings as far as the masterpiece skills go. So, Cynical Banana, I see your comment there,
Yeah,
man.
he's really good.
So, yeah, and he's quite heavy. He's heavier than I expected. And then I got this one sent to me as well, the Happy New Year edition of MFT's Dinobots. So, Dinosaur New Year edition.
Nice.
And so that is everything I got this week. So
Hold on. Still there, Deemer?
I'm here. Yep. So that is my haul for the week. I am excited about a lot of these things, to be honest.
That's awesome. Yeah. Congratulations on the them sending you watches and stuff. That's always cool. And some people reach out to you and want to work with you and everything. That's cool. That's
man, I was really excited when I got that.
So, awesome. Yeah, I can't wait to watch the review. I love, I don't wear watches, but it'd be pretty cool to have a Transformer watch. That'd be very nice.
Yeah.
I like that. Let's see if I can turn on my camera. But anyways, so I just right before we went live, I put my news segment out and everything. So, after this, if you want to go watch it, I really appreciate that. There was some interesting stuff coming out this past week. I wrote down a couple things. Let's see. So I'm excited. New Age, Retgar hopefully should be coming out pretty soon. But they put out a statement stating they were listening to fans about the head sculpt for some reason, which I didn't think the head sculpt was that bad in the first place. But I guess they did some tweaking, a little bit. I can't really tell. So you got they put the prototype out and they put a picture next to the render and everything. So I really couldn't tell any really, a lot of difference. But, that's cool that New Age is actually listening, to the fans. I just didn't know that was a problem, whatever. But that's pretty cool. But yeah, they're changing out the head sculpt. But I hope that doesn't delay it. It looked like he was almost ready to come out. I thought we'd be getting, notices from Show.Z that he's coming out. So really looking forward to that, to get the New Age. And I can't wait to see how many, recolors and retools they're going to put out of that. Man, there's so much they could do with that, character and everything. So, not a whole lot. Some stuff. DNA Designs put out something for Alpha Triumph for one, which would need it. I think for the legs, and he also gets a cloak, so that's pretty cool. Who doesn't love a cloak? And there were a couple other things. Not very many. Not much as far as anything that surprised me. Add-on kits. Led. Also, we got new picks from Galaxy Toys of their Iron Ratchet, which looked pretty cool. Galaxy Toys has been kind of hit and miss. Prime was not that good. The Warpath is okay, but I've heard some bad, issues with the paint. And I could see they kind of, you could tell that they had like a 3D or they're just not the best so far. The Seeker were okay, I guess. And then they have, I think they put out a reflector. I don't know if I got a reflector or not, put out yet or not. I'm not for sure. So they're kind of hit and miss. The Ironhide and Ratchet look okay. They're ugly prototypes and everything. So, you it is what it is. And I think that long time with Legends news. So kind of disappointed. I really want to see more, but I don't know what the deal is. I think I say last week. I think I heard a rumor that New Age might be quitting, and then they're going to do their own characters or something. But that's true. I see anything else about it? I make my video like that. But are you in for Retgar, Deemer? I'm sure you are, but
Yeah, I am. I'm excited about, like I like these like secondary type characters or third, tier characters in general. And it gives us something fresh and new. And I know like Hasbro put out their their Junkions and their Waffle Bots or whatever. But I am very excited for the new age ones because I mean, kind of like you said, I was kind of surprised that there was that media output where they were like, oh, we listened to our fans, so we're changing the head. And I was a little bit like, what do you mean changing the head? I thought it was pretty good the first rendition.
yeah.
But so that was kind of surprising.
Exactly.
But at the same time, like if there is a lot of pushback, then that is great on New Age to say like we are taking feedback, and here you go, guys. So I love fan service. I love when companies do fan service. It shows the appreciation, not just like the corporate side of things. So kudos to that. And like you said, are we expecting like 5 repaints out of this one too? Would it be necessary, or are they going to go like and just give maybe a different head or a little bit change of the sculpt to give us the other Junkions as a result of that mold, which is what I'm personally hoping they'll do as well too. So definitely excited for that.
Me too. Yeah. I'm definitely. I mean, we'll get recolors of the Retgar. We'll get like a G2 or a Shattered Glass. I don't know what they'll do, but we'll definitely get those. But I do want to get some retooling. I would like to get at least maybe 3 or 4 different Junkions. That would be pretty cool to have a little set. And if we definitely need a wheelie from them, and we need some other stuff from them from season 3. We need Scourge. So I'm hoping that the rumor is not true and they do not go off and do their own thing. I hope they still plan on doing more Transformer stuff. Moving on to like third-party Masterpiece and Chug news. So the Lost Light. Jakara told me his Lost Light Rodimus is coming out pretty soon. I got mine on pre-order, or actually I paid mine off, so hopefully it'll ship soon. There's already a knockoff from it, so it's probably going to be cheaper than the original one or the one and everything. So. If that's what your thing is, awesome. You got to, you get options. Options are always great for Transformers. So there is a knockoff for the Lost Light Masterpiece Rodimus. It's a beautiful figure. I can't wait. The first one, Rodimus, was great, and it transformed too, so it's really nice. What else was third-party Masterpiece? Let's see. So, Dreamstar Toys did finish. I think their last one of their Devastator is coming out pretty soon, or has been shipping to other people right now. So that's finished. If you're with the Dreamstar Toys, I'm still with the 01 Studios. I'm waiting for them to release their next one. But it looks beautiful. Like every time I talk about that Devastator, is the metallic green and the metallic purple just looks so good, and it looks pretty good combined too as well. And it looked really nice next to their Superion. So I thought was you doing the Dreamstar Toys, Deemer?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, after I got the first figure and I was sold in, because not only does it feel great in hand and the aesthetics I love, the colors I love, but I think for bang for the buck and the size of that Masterpiece scale, it is really amazing. And if there's anybody out there that is, on the fence, like check out my review. I did a review on one of them already a couple months ago, I think, or so. It's a great figure. I mean, the transformation has its like little finicky parts here and there, but overall, it isn't that hard to transform. It feels great. The colors are just honestly like that military green kind of take on it with the stylization really brings out a different dynamic to the figure. And I can't wait till I get, the last one in. I think I'll just do one big huge review with all of them together, and then do like, their construct to do their Devi um, at the end there too. So I am in on that 100% and very excited. I am on 01 too. I love just that big brutal like blocky look. I am a sucker for the big blocky looks and aesthetics. So that's going to be a big one too, and I'm looking forward to 01 putting that out as well. So yeah, that Rodimus is.
What got me with the
Go ahead.
Well, what got me with the 01 Studios was the alt mode. I love the Cybertronian alt modes on those, and I was going to use those for my alt modes. But the bot modes are really good too as well, and I think that the combined mode is going to be great. So I'm kind of iffy on what I'm going to use with those. But yeah, 01 Studios. I think whichever one you went with, 01 Studios, they're both stylized. I think whichever one you went with, you're going to be fine. Both are great choices to go along with.
Yeah, honestly, I think
and more from Kane Toys.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. No, what'd you say?
I was gonna say 01 Studios has a much simpler feel and look to it, So I think that's the attraction for me, other than that blockiness too. So definitely a good pick up there too.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. Jordan asks, how do you think at CinemaCon we will finally find out what the next Transformers live action movie is going to be? When is CinemaCon? I doubt it. I mean, it would be cool, but I haven't heard anything about there hasn't been any leaks or anything like that about the next Transformers movie. So it matters when CinemaCon is. So, I mean, I don't know for sure. But it'd be pretty cool if we did. But moving on, like I said, what I was going to talk about was Kane Toys. So they showed off their 7th Dinobot member, which is going to be the kind of the waist and the thighs. I forgot the name of it, but they showed that, and then they showed off their chug scale of Slag or Slug, whichever one you call him. They showed him, and they showed a nice picture of all them together. I think the only one was a gray prototype was the Grimlock, I think. The rest were all color photos and everything, so that was pretty cool. If you're doing the chug scale, I'm doing the MP scale, and hopefully eventually if they do a legend scale. I haven't seen anything with the legend scale because they're working and they've got a lot on their plate. They're doing the MP and they're also doing the chug scale. But I'm hoping they do a legend scale, and I'll definitely get that one. But I kind of passed on the chug scale. I may go back and get them. I don't know for sure, but that's too many Dinobots. Plus they combine, and I don't care for the combination and everything. So yeah. But yeah, I was asking, I was like, is the Dinobot combiner the new Prime kind of thing? Like, every week we get a new Prime. Now it looks like that every week we're getting a new Dinobot combiner. It's like everybody just jumping on for the Dinobot combiner stuff. So
yeah, man, as far as I think you're talking about the Spinosaurus one coming out from Kang Toys. Yeah. That one looks really, really cool. And I'm personally in on both their scales, the Chug and the Masterpiece scale ones, or their oversized ones, however you want to look at it. But I have to say, there is something really awesome about the Chug scale one. So if you are on the fence, Deluxe, I'm going to tell you, they're a lot simpler. They feel really well. They are lighter, of course. There's some compromises, but I think if I had to only pick one and do it over again, I might actually go with the Chug scale. And the only reason, well, maybe the biggest reason, is because you don't feel like anything's going to necessarily break off. And I have, fiddled around, and I did a fan request where they said, Deemer, can you show me how the head actually transforms into the body for the combination mode? Because that was a sticky point that wasn't really in the instructions. So I did just a short, showing that. And so other than the instructions not being the best, sometimes you have to figure some stuff out. That Chug scale one actually is pretty formidable as far as a good balance of the transformation. great use of the plastics as far as how it feels and the playability and durability. Of course, the stylization is very similar to their Masterpiece one. So I feel like you're kind of getting the best of both worlds if you're not a Masterpiece collector. So if you are a Masterpiece collector, then by all means, like me, that's why I got both of them, because I do love the Masterpiece and Oversize set.
Yeah.
But if I had to choose absolutely one, I might actually go against my own grain here and say it might actually be better to go with their Hero Class or their Chug Scale one. And that's just my 2 cents on that.
Oh yeah.
And Cynical Banana, I agree.
Oh,
It is
the
really slack.
masterpiece one. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. What was that?
Just agreeing with Cynical Banana
Oh,
on his
Slash.
last comment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all. Yeah. Well, I mean, the MP ones are a pain in the tank to transform, and I mean, I don't know. It's going to be a heavy combiner. So I'm hoping. I mean, it's going to be, but I'm not going to keep it in combine mode. I'm going to, take them down. I'm going to use them in my bot mode. So, uh, CinemaCon is going to be April 13th to 16th. So I'm at 2 weeks away. I doubt that we'll hear anything about a new Transformer movie. I really doubt we will. It'd be cool if we do, but I just doubt, because by this time we would have heard some, some leaks or something, or some rumors or something like that. There hasn't been anything about that. So yeah, I don't think we will hear about that. Um, and okay, we saw they showed us a color prototype of the new Ultra Magnus from Craftsman's Toys, or General, whatever you want to call them. It looks good. Oh, it looks so good! I cannot wait to get that in my
So
collection.
good.
Man, it's going to be half the price of Flames Toys, so and it transforms too. I wanted that Flames toy because it looked really good, because I got the Starscream, and so did you, Deemer. But that
Yep.
Ultramatics looked really good. But I'm glad I kind of waited, and I'm going to get this one, and it looks really good.
Yeah. So I personally am
Um,
in on their
and
thanks, you don't want to make me angry. I appreciate that. But yeah, I am in on the Kara Kuri, I believe is how you pronounce it. So I do have their Ultra Magnus. I didn't get a chance to review it yet, but I love, and yes, it is a premier kind of uh, product, right? It is a pricey figure, 500, 600, but I think Ultra Magnus specifically was what, around 600 plus dollars. That's a pretty chunk of change to spend on a non-transforming transformer. But all my experiences with the Flame Toys KKK series have been awesome, and they hooked me, and that's my idiot, like, kind of like, you know what, I'm going to waste that money. That's a figure that I know I'm going to want, and they kind of have me. They really did say, we're doing this for you, Nadim, and we're going to, like, you're going to buy our product, Deemer. We're just going to make these for you. And I feel like I might be one of the few that collects them and spends the stupid money on them, but I do love them. And that's my guilty pleasure, I think. And if you guys have guilty pleasures, I'd love to hear about them, because sometimes I feel like I'm one of the few idiots in this world spending stupid money on plastic and metal. So that's just me.
no, I mean, you buy what you love, and yeah, I mean, I've got a couple of Flame toys. I was really heavy into Flames toys when they first came out. I got a couple of their first releases, but then 3.0 came along, and they were a little. I thought they were a little more, they better, and they look better, and they're a little cheaper, I guess. I mean, not much, but I guess they're on the high side too as well. 3.0, but I just love 3.0. But I had to get that Starscream. That Starscream. When I first saw that, I was just like, "Oh, it looks so good," and I'm so glad I got that in my collection. Um, but that was about it for third-party Masterpiece and Chug news, and we move on to official. And like I said, the Lost Light, Takara Lost Light is coming out. It looks good. Like I said, I can't wait to get that. They showed the Macross and Transformer crossover. That is hitting, people that should be shipping out pretty soon. We got to see the box. We got to see the, in-hand pics of that. it looks pretty cool. I'm not getting that one, but it's all right. What else did we get? Shoot, for official, they showed off. We're getting a G2 Minosaur from Takara. We're also getting a anime color of RC from the Masterpiece MPG something. I forgot what it was, but we're getting that. Um, what else is there? Oh yeah, that thing's beautiful.
This thing is crazy gorgeous.
It's wild, man. Yeah, one of my favorite Starfriend figures that I have. It's beautiful.
Yeah, love this one.
So if you like that Minosaur, we're getting a G2 one, which everybody thought we would anyways. And like I said, we're getting a different MP RC. I think it's supposed to be the prototype colors or something, or I forgot what it said.
Yeah.
What else did they show about official? Man, I can't think of it. Oh, Blockies had a conference on the 25th. So we're getting some new stuff from Blockies as usual. Blockies putting out a lot of stuff. Look good. They got the Action Edition. They got a Prime, Optimus Prime, and then they got a G1 Optimus Prime 2.0. So we're getting more Primes. I wish they would move on to do some other characters, but I would love to get an Action Edition Starscream because there's so many recolors they can get out of that one. But I would love some more Action Edition stuff other than Prime. Then we got they showed off some of their they got Beast Wars coming. We're getting that, so we're getting Trailbreaker 2 as well, some others. That's really good. Blockies already announced their Wave 3. So Wave 2 just came out, and I think they already just announced Wave 3. So we got to see War Within Grimlock. We got to see a Springer. We also got to see RC and a Drift. So we got to see prototypes of them and some other stuff too. So they had a nice little convention or whatever, or a Blockies conference call. So I'm not shy. I'm just my internet or with Deemer for some reason. I explained it. It was great on Tuesday. And then now, for some reason, I don't know, it just jacks up. Maybe it's maybe having the other camera on, that might be messing it up too. I don't know for sure. We got to figure something out. But as far as another more official news, what else? I think that was about it. I guess the biggest thing that I was really surprised, and everybody else was surprised, and so was Deemer, is the Predaking, which looks beautiful. I mean, it looks so freaking awesome combined. The alt mode and bot modes, with Razor Claw being almost twice the size of the other ones, that looks goofy. The alt modes look really blocky. I mean, which, that's pretty cool if you like G1. That's what they were in G1. But the combined mode looks great. But a lot of people, there's two issues. One thing is over $400 over here. Now, overseas, it might be cheaper. Some places are getting a little cheaper, but I think on Pulse it's like $430. I think it was. I'm not sure. But yeah, that's a lot of money. And he is the size of a Legend scale combiner. They showed pictures of him next to Devastator from New Age and Computron from Craftsman's Toys, and he is the same scale as those guys. So a lot of people will be like, we're wanting him, and then when they saw the scale, they were like, yeah, that's not for me. It's definitely for me because I love it. It looks good. But, if they really dropped the ball on this one. They should have made this one Masterpiece scale. It would have sold out at a lot of places because it looks really, a lot of people like the Studio Ox series and the way he looked in the Call of Primitives. And they really dropped the ball on this one. Not for me, but for a lot of people. And plus, this is $400, which is kind of on par with the New Age, like a combiner. That usually is about $400 anyways, around there. So, but it's not the scale that everybody, I think he's even shorter than like the official like Devastator and Superion. I think he's actually shorter than those guys. So he's not going to fit in with your chug stuff. So I don't know what they were thinking of making him so small. I really don't. What do you think about it, Deemer?
So yeah, I definitely agree with a lot of the points you made. Now, for me, Predaking is probably my favorite of all the combiners, bar none. As much as I love Devian,
Hmm.
Superion, etc., but for me, he was actually my first combiner that I ever got as a younger version of me too. So maybe that's part of the nostalgia element. But my goodness, the
Yeah.
size versus the price, I don't know where their marketing is because they are not new age, right? Like new age, we know there's a high quality expectation. With Takara, I like Takara personally much better than Hasbro, the stuff that they put out. But at $439 imported or whatever, and it is about $100 cheaper if you can get it overseas, just so you guys know. Like I got mine from Bombospi, I think is what it's called, and it's about $100 cheaper. So just so you guys know, if you don't want to go and if unless you want to throw away another $100, that's whatever you want. But um, I love, and I did get him for his combined mode because now, as much as I love the G1 shapes and everything, I don't see myself getting like two of these sets, especially at these price points, and having one in the broken up alt modes. For me personally, I love their alt modes in the G1, and then having one in combined mode.
Hmm.
So he is forever going to stay in combined mode, and yeah, it's just a shame that they didn't seize that opportunity to just go ahead and like, look, if we're going to charge a boatload for a figure, let's do it masterpiece, let's do it right, let's do it for the fans, let's do it for the collectors, because Takara, there's always a higher price point to their products for a reason. And I wish that Takara would have been like, you know what, it's okay. This is a special figure. This is a special set. This is a special combiner. And Hasbro can do whatever they want and like water it down and sell whatever they want. That's fine. But I think Takara should have just stood their ground a little bit more and gave us the masterpiece version, which would have been much more palatable for whatever they would have charged. And we know we're going to get a masterpiece set that is much needed, I think, and kick off maybe a combiner trend in masterpiece scale that would be official.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't know what they was thinking to making this small. I mean, really, I never looked any better. Thanks, Eric. I really appreciate that. I don't care. I wanted to stay hidden from you, so that's the reason why I'm not showing my face. Um, but yeah, I just that's it's just wild. I mean, I knew he was going to be small because whenever when they first showed off the prototypes and everything, and showed off him being at the show, they showed how small it was. But I didn't expect him to be actually legend scale. I thought he was going to be a little bigger. At least go with the chug scale stuff. But this
Yeah.
can't even go with your chug scale because I mean, Predator King, like I said, he should be one of the taller. I think Devastator is supposed to be around the tallest, but I think Predator King should be around that same scale as him. And it's just not, it's just not, working with that. And I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if I don't think they promoted it as being a masterpiece scale combiner, but why not? Why? I mean, why are you doing a legend scale combiner when you don't do legend stuff at all? I mean,
Yeah.
it's just kind of weird. I mean, it's just really, really weird. So I don't know what they was thinking. I think they lost a lot of sales. I mean, being the amount of money, and and right now with with the way things are going right now, people barely can buy groceries, but to
Yeah.
charge this much for that, maybe they should have said, maybe they should have, released it, one by one instead of doing a box set. Maybe like they do their combiners on their chug scale. Maybe they should have done that. It could have been a lot easier on the wallet with some people,
Mhm.
and with a lot of people, and that might have, maybe tempted more people to buy it. But for 400 over $400 a pop, for just the combiner, I mean that's a lot of money right now. So I don't know if it's gonna sell. But like I said, you can't get it cheaper overseas. Like Deemer just said, I pre-ordered mine from Show.Z. They don't show the price yet, but I'm hoping it will be around the 300, 350, mark around that area. Hopefully 300 would be cool. 323, whatever would be good. but I think they lost a lot of buyers because of being a legend scale combiner. I mean, I don't know what the hell he was thinking.
No, I agree, and I like. So I'm a little bit, I guess, in two minds about the set versus the breaking them up. Only because it's very rare that we get an official set all at once. So that's kind of exciting. The
Yeah,
downside, like you said, I think if we were to get a masterpiece version, I would have been more than happy if they broke it up just like everybody else, just like they would normally do, and be like, look, here's a piece for $250 or whatever, right? And it's a masterpiece and it's Takara Tomy, and you know what you're getting. I, at that point, may have bought two sets, because I can break up and spread out the paint a little bit and know that what I'm getting is something a little bit more, spread out and palatable. And at the end, I can have everything I want from that set at a masterpiece scale. At a legend scale, yeah, I don't know about that all at one go like that. That's a bit, especially when we're trying to collect other things along the way too, right? Like, like, I don't know, man. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. So, but I also agree with.
I don't think.
Go ahead.
I don't think it's the. I mean, the price doesn't have a lot. The pricing does have a lot, but I think it's just the scale. I mean, I don't think I think people were expecting either to be a masterpiece or maybe even a chug scale. But I think that the scale is going to turn off a lot of people. I mean, and just because they don't want a legend scale Predaking. I mean, but I mean, I do. I mean, but it's just a lot of 90% collectors don't want that legend scale. It just didn't fit with their what they have and everything. So. Yeah, it is what it is. Oh well.
Yep.
We'll see.
No, I agree. This. Yeah, no, the scale for me is, I'm not bothered by the scale per se, kind of like you, because I do like the legend sizes. And if we're collecting like, the JGM stuff at like these smaller scales, and we're loving them, right? But I mean, we're also talking a fraction of the cost, for instance. But they are legend scale, and even at like say Devi from New Age, still half the price or less, but you're getting a proper New Age set with all the New Age, goodness that comes with it. And they sell those at one go for a couple $100, much more reasonable because we know it's a legend scale, we know what we're getting into. And I just think they kind of fumbled on this marketing, not really kind of being ambiguous, and then just showing us after like the pre-orders have been booked for a lot of people. Oh, by the way, it's, this is what it looks like in reality, even though we kind of gave you the guidelines of size, but nobody really, I think, put one and one together properly until the pictures started coming out. And so, yeah, right. So that scale thing is a big sticky point. I 100% agree.
And I mean, what you don't want to make me angry. Just said, Razor Claw is too big to match Legends. Well, I mean, the bot modes just look goofy. I mean, Razor Claw is like 2 times the size of the other ones. It's just like that Donaldbot combiner. Just the last one they put out, which is huge. It just makes no sense, And then in the alt modes, they're fine. I guess, like I said, they're kind of blocky, but that is G1. They were blocky in G1. So that's cool if you want that. But I don't want them for alt mode. I want them for Predaking. And I definitely don't want them for the bot modes because that just looks goofy as hell. Razor Claw is way too freaking big. Yeah, I just said the scale thing is just what really turned off a lot of people, and the money too as well. So oh well, it is what it is. Takara and Hasbro, they do their own thing. Sometimes. It's pretty good. Sometimes it's good. And then sometimes you're just like, what the hell? I mean, what are you doing? But
But while you say that, DB, there's a big opportunity for any third party company, especially like New Age, that has that quality element and that that shiny ooh element to it. If they put out, and kind of like what I think Cynical Banana was saying, if like Bingo Toys put out, right? But it had to be like legend scale. They could easily cannibalize the sales from Takara Tomy on this one, and Hasbro and whoever, right, is selling this at their sites or whatever. Because at the end of the day, it's gonna be a 200-ish dollar set, but you're going to get also what you know from those companies, and that's quality, and that's a good paint job, and that's a fun figure and set of figures, and the austerity of their name brand to begin with anyway. So there's an easy opportunity for these guys to just slide in under the radar and just be like, sorry guys, we're gonna cannibalize your sales. So, and our alt modes and bot modes are better. So
Well, you know who's really going to slide in and make a lot of money if anybody can do this is going to be the third party companies that make add-on kits. So whoever's going to make a thigh extender, who's ever going
Mhm.
to make either some bigger feet and some stuff. So that's I think 3D printer, whoever does 3D printing, whoever can make some thigh extenders to make them a little bigger to even so they could go with the chuck scale. I think that's going to be a lot of money right there. And then the add-on kits is going to really, and like I said, every time Hasbro releases something, the add-on kit, companies are just, foaming at the mouth, because they know that they're going to get some money to either fill in some gaps, make it taller, add something, different than what Hasbro is not doing. Add-on kits is going to make a lot of money off of this set right here.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think somebody, especially like QQT Studios, who has been doing the larger add-on kit sets, right? Where it is you can have the option of the complete set where you only use the main figure with the combination pieces. Um, or like they can give you like just pieces of the set. I think QQT Studios actually would make a killing more so than maybe DNA or Funbee Studios or whoever else is doing them, because I think they have literally the tooling and the know-how to get to a sweet spot for those things. And so maybe you're absolutely right. Their third-party add-on kits, they can easily make a killing on this. And I think if I was to pick one to maybe hopefully stand out, it would be QQT Studios more than even DNA or anybody else. That's just me personally.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I definitely see that. I don't see. I don't know, but see, they're going for the Studio Ox way, and the light toys and the QQT kind of make them more tune decos. And I don't know if anybody would want to take this one and make it a tune deco because the
Mm.
Studio Ox one is so good. But I mean, there, I'm sure there is some people out there would love that, but not for me. It would be for me because I want to be the. I think Predaking stuff like Predaking, Abominus, the Seacons, or all those.
Mhm.
I think they look really good being stylized. But that's just me. I don't,
Yeah.
I like stylization. A lot of people don't. But anyways, Ultra Magnus, Megatron. I'm sorry, Ultra Megatronus. Welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. Everybody, thank you as always for stopping by. We really appreciate y'all coming by and everything.
100%, 100%. And also shout out to you guys that have been floating in between both channels and supporting both channels, leaving comments and the likes and the shares and stuff. I do want to thank you guys. I've noticed a few of you have been like bouncing in and out. So big thank you guys. Always appreciate it. Um, One thing about the Seacons there, wasn't there a stylized version that did come out? I don't remember who made it a while back ago. I could have swore there was a stylized.
TFC toy. The only the Piranacon I only see, the only I know of is TFC toys.
Mm,
As far as MP scale, I mean,
mhm.
there was a Combiner Wars one. I think did Combiner Wars do one? I can't remember. But anyways, only combiner I remember of the Seacons or Piranacon was TFC
Mm,
toys. That was a
yeah,
long time ago. So
that was a while. Yeah.
TFC. So, but it is what it is as always. Um, so, if anybody got any questions, I know you got a couple. If you want to, you know,
Yeah, sure.
run off
Yeah. If
two
anybody has
questions,
any
we
questions,
can.
start dropping them. I'll ask a couple questions to you, and of course, anybody in the audience can also share their thoughts. Now, one of the
Yeah.
questions I liked: is there a specific character you absolutely hated or ignored until you bought that specific character that changed your mind about it? And if so, what was it?
Wheelie. Gonna tell you,
Man,
X
you and
Trace
this
Boss
wheelie
Wheelie.
trailers.
No, I know, man. Love it. Um, Man, that's a good question. I really I don't know. I mean, I never really hated a character. I
Hmm.
mean, as far as when I was a kid. So I didn't hate a character or anything like that. So, I guess there's none. I don't think that anything changed my mind. I've always wanted to buy, one of each character, from G1. But I've never just hated a character and then bought something and be like, oh, okay, I like this. He's okay. So yeah, I really don't have any. What about you? Have you had experience with
Y-
that?
Yeah, I think when I was younger, G1 Blur I found really annoying because of how fast he talked and his pitch
Yeah,
of voice too. But then, like, as I grew older and
yeah.
like the more higher quality toys came out and stuff like that, I was like, you know what? I kind of, I hate myself a little bit for hating the character because like looking back and watching them again as I grew older, of course, at different points in time, I'm like, I don't know why I hated it. Yeah, I mean, it can be annoying, but it's a cool character, man. And the toys that they came out with are actually uniquely fun because he's one of the few that always kept like a Cybertronian mode to him, right? So I appreciated him more as I grew older. So that is my character that went from I really didn't like him to like, wow, actually, you know what? I appreciate him a lot more as a character and toy both. So yeah.
Okay, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Hmm.
I never had anything against Blur, and they've done some really good ones. Fans Toys has a good one. There was a
Hmm.
older one. It was called SSX Blur. It was like chunk scale Blur, kind of like an IDW Blur, and he was really good. They only put out like I think they only put out two things, and I have the Blur one. I did a review for him a long time ago, a couple years ago, but I think it's called SSX. Uh, I forgot his third party name, but it's SSX Blur. Might want to check it out. He's pretty good. Like I said, he's kind of an IDW ish kind of blur. But they put some good blurs out there. I want New Age. I would love a New Age blur. I think that
Hmm.
would be a good one. I think DX9 did one when they were doing Legends along, at the beginning. They put out a blur, and it was okay, I guess, but it's kind of outdated now. Um, and everything. You got SXS blur. They did a hot rod. Yeah, I know they did a hot rod, and they did a gears too as well. Okay, that's cool. But I did get the blur. I don't think I had the hot rod. And I don't got the gears. I don't think either. But their blur is really good. I wish they kind of would have stayed around. They were doing the chug scale stuff and everything, so that was good.
Cool, cool, cool. Um, if you could combine any two characters from the franchise to create the ultimate combiner figure, who would you choose and what would their combined form be?
God dang, man. Okay, ask that question again. If I could take two different from different franchises.
Okay, yeah. No, if you could combine any two characters from the franchise, forget like what series or whatever, just from the franchise, from Transformers franchise, to create the ultimate combiner figure, who would you choose and what would their combined form be?
Man, we probably should have asked these questions before so I could get an answer because that's kind of a hard question just to pop off on the top of your head.
It is. It's a tough.
Um, I have no idea. I'd have to think about that one, man. I don't even know how to answer that one.
Mm.
I'm sure you got an answer. So if you answer, maybe I could go up for that one. So you go first.
Actually, I don't have a genuine answer because I did rattle my brain about it for a minute, and it's like this is a genuinely hard question because I like, characters. I like the stylization of IDW, right? But then I also like the Prime characters, but then I also like the G1 characters, and it's like, oh man, like this is too hard to limit it down to two characters to be your ultimate combiner, like in your head.
Oh,
And
I got an answer.
go for it.
I have an answer. How about Cyclonus and Bombshell? Because everybody throws a fit who Cyclonus was. No, Bombshell and was it Skywarp? Is that who it was? So Bombshell and Skywarp put together, and it actually looks like Cyclonus.
Oh, that's
Because
smart.
everybody
I
fights
like
about that. Who is Cyclonus? I think it was Skywarp and Bombshell. So I want to see a Bombshell and Skywarp combiner that almost looks like Cyclonus.
that's a pretty smart answer. I will give you that one, Deluxe. That was thoughtful. That was thoughtful. I appreciate that answer.
Thank you.
Let's see. Chris says Ratchet and Megatron
Ratchet
combined.
Oh, that's a good one, Chris. Yeah,
good one, Chris.
that would look scary though, because the comic, the cover comic was kind of scary. So yeah, that would be scary one day. Huffer and Braun would be a good one. Yeah, I can see that. But I think that would be, or maybe Rumble Frenzy, or Frenzy Rumble, whichever everybody fights about those two as well. Which one's which? They could be a combiner too. Who else? What else do they fight about?
I think here's an interesting one. How about Galvatron and RC?
That'd be wild.
That would be wild. I don't know what their combined form.
Why Galvatron and RC though?
I always, like my daughter and I always share like these what if shipping like stories in our head, right? She's very much into shipping different characters together.
Yeah.
And she comes up with some crazy stuff. And so like we have a lot of fun just joking around about that kind of scenario. And so like for me, I always because she loves RC. She loves the fembots. And she loves a lot of these evil characters together, right? Like, so for her, she chose, I think it wasn't ours, it was Alita 1 and Tarn, I think she chose at one point. And she was like making this huge, beautiful, funny backstory about like how they met, what they would do, and like the universe that they live in. I'm like, she has a lot of, like storytelling genius in there. Like I'm like, just write this stuff out. That's hilarious. So like I remember like when we talked about that, we kind of like I was like, what about Galvatron and RC, because they're also two like very cool, like I mean, Galvatron's messed up, but RC would be like the balance of him, and there could be like this love story and internal, mode together and stuff like that. So that's where I, brought those two together.
Okay, that's weird, but I could get along with it. I'll go along with that. Okay, yeah, I got you. But I like the Gnaw and the Alicon. Call him Shark-Gator. That'd be pretty cool. See that?
That's a fun one.
I don't know what other ones you could combine to with. Maybe Sunstreaker and Sideswipe, because they're brothers. That could be Side Streaker or something, or Streaker Side. Or, I don't know. I'm just making up stuff right now, so that what it is. You got Punch Counter Punch. They're two kind of two different characters.
Yep.
They're kind of combined. So you got those. But that's a good question. Yeah, good question.
Yeah.
But it's been fun. I think it's about time to go. I don't have anything else. Deemer, do you have anything else to talk about? I mean, I don't. I mean, I usually I think the news. I think I covered most of the stuff that I talked about. So
The
twins.
Twins combined. Oh yeah, that would be good actually too. Cynical. Yeah, I mean, not a whole lot. Looking forward to some of the stuff you talked about in your news, as far as especially like that Ultra Magnus coming out, and there's a bunch of stuff in this pipeline. There's a lot of fun stuff I think coming down in the next few months, hopefully. So I'm excited. I'm genuinely excited about 2026 as a whole, and these next figures coming out. I can't wait. So. Hey, Ashley, what's
Yeah,
up?
I'm excited too. Hey, Ashley. Thanks for stopping by. I'm excited. The next con is going to be TFCon and BotCon are going to be the same weekend. I'm hoping TFCon in Toronto, we actually get a decent third party, something new other than the LA one. I hope we get to see some new stuff in that one. And I definitely hope we get to see some new stuff in Orlando in October. So, but I'm going to be there. I'm still trying to go to BotCon. Don't know if I'm going to make it or not, but we'll see. I'm still trying. But anyways, just want to say once again, as always, thank y'all so much for stopping by. Just chit chatting with us, shooting the shit and all that stuff. We love it, and we would appreciate that. Episode 7, it's pretty good. Hopefully, we'll make it to a lot more. I don't know what is wrong with my connection with Deemer, but for some reason, it just doesn't work sometimes. But we're trying our best and we're trying to make it work and everything. So, but as always, we really do appreciate y'all stopping by, spending your, time, with us, and we really do appreciate that and everything. So, definitely, we got some, as always, we got reviews coming out every week. I try to do one, I've been kind of slacking off and just because my views have been crap, I just haven't been doing a lot. But I'm going to start doing some more stuff and everything. And Deemer's going to do his thing as always. Going to be great as always. And I guess we'll see y'all next Sunday again at 8 o'clock. And be good to yourself. Hell freaking Transformers. And good night, folks. And Deemer, what you guys say?
So, definitely thanks to everybody again. Ashley, I appreciate you watching and support. And that was my wife that was racing the car in that video. So I will let her know that you enjoyed that. And on the con notes, I wanted to share with you earlier, and I forgot, Deluxe, that we had a family discussion this afternoon, actually, and it is confirmed. We are going to be at TFCon Orlando. We are going to road trip up to Chicago for the BotCon as well, my daughter and I, and my wife. So you should see us all up there. We're going to spend like kind of a weekish in Chicago, and I haven't been there in a while, so we have friends and family stuff up there, so we'll visit and take in the sights and the atmosphere and stuff. So very excited. Get to see finally Lux Baldwin in the flesh and blood, and hopefully some of you guys as well. And looking forward to that as well. So that is exciting.
Yep. Yeah. All right, man. I can't help it. Like I said, I'm trying to make it to BotCon. I don't know if I'm going to get to, but I'm definitely going to make it to TFCon Orlando. But we'll see.
Awesome.
But like I said, as always, y'all, thank y'all so much for stopping by, and we'll see y'all next week. Take care and all that good stuff.
Thanks, everybody. Stay young, stay fun. We'll see you guys in the reviews and next week, hopefully. Take care.
Yep. Take care, y'all.